What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the video. As you can see, the man waving to you guys is a good friend of mine. I've worked with him a lot in the past, and I wanted to do a little bit of a video. I've been thinking about it for quite a while now. He has some great stuff to share with you guys, and some stuff I've been wanting to share with you as well. Some good opportunities, especially for the smaller YouTubers like myself. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and yeah, we'll start from there.
Connor, thanks. Hey guys, I'm George. You may remember me from TGN. We started a new network. It's called Freedom, and where you can be free.
So George, like I said, a good friend of mine, and he gave me a really great opportunity when I was starting out on YouTube to be part of the TGN network when it was small, right? It was just starting out. And I think that was an incredible opportunity for myself, and I think this new launch of a network being Freedom could be a really good opportunity for smaller YouTubers, not even smaller YouTubers, bigger YouTubers as well. And the network has a lot of great things that other networks may not have. Just some really good things. We'll talk about those. So really one of the big benefits that I've noticed with a smaller network, though, a network that's growing like Freedom, is the growth, right? You can grow with the network, and there's just a lot of opportunity to really flourish in a network that's not already a monster, right? Today, if you go, hey, I want to join TGN, Machinima, I personally think you're just kind of getting tossed into a melting pot of a bunch of other partners, and you really don't have that connection with the network. What do you think about that?
Well, the biggest difference is, will you get a chance to talk to the boss? If you partner with TGN today, can you talk to AWOL, the current head of TGN? I make myself very much available, and of course we want to speak with everybody. And when we grow as big as TGN again, remember I founded TGN, so I know exactly how to build a network, then I may not be available because I only have 24 hours a day. But I mean, right now, just what Connor said, we are getting started. We're 1 month into the business. We started December 1st, so we're giving everyone personal attention. I speak to everyone, which is exactly the same way we started when we built TGN. And so everyone grows with us. We just launched our earnings report. You can see that on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/mcnfreedom. And the video there has a link to a spreadsheet that shows exactly how much money we made in our very first month. And I must say, we blew TGN's numbers out of the water when you compare what TGN had in its first month compared to what we have in our first month.
Yeah, so I mean, so far, from what I've seen, just based on the videos that George does, which is huge as well, kind of having that open side of a network, just being able to interact with the big people in the company like George. From what I've seen on the videos, which you guys can definitely check out, I will, of course, have the links in the description for everything related to Freedom. I do recommend you check out all the videos George has done on their YouTube channel. But all the videos you can see there, they're really transparent. You get to really see what your earnings are like, what the network's earnings are like. Just kind of experience all the parts of the network that, as a smaller YouTuber or just a YouTuber in general, you kind of miss out on. You don't really have that opportunity to really get involved and see all the in-depth parts of the network.
Yeah. So guys, my goal is to be completely transparent. We enable revenue visibility on every channel the instant we partner it. I think TGN still hasn't enabled revenue visibility for anyone, even though I wanted to, but I was blocked. That's partly why I quit TGN back in October last year, was because I was boxed in. So many things I wanted to do and build the network in the way I wanted was prevented because the senior management at BBTV said, no, we don't want it done that way. Everything from the dashboard, from not being able to hire a single developer and a lot of other stuff really gave me two options, their way or the highway. And I chose the highway because I felt I'm better than that and I can build a network. I just need a direct relationship with Google. That was the one thing BBTV had of value, which is they could call up YouTube and say, hey, we need a new CMS. Hey, we need help solving this copyright strike. And I couldn't do that. So when I quit, I spent the next year building NETV as a business focused around Play Now links, recommendation revenue. And once we hit 5,000 channels that we were working with, that was enough to Google so that they accepted our proposal and we became an MCN. December 1st is when we launched with our own CMS. We actually have two CMSs, one for music and one for non-music. And we have Content ID, we have the ability to recover channels. If you have youtube.com/your favorite name and someone is squatting it, or it's like an abandoned channel, we can recover it. We've already recovered 4 channels. YouTube.com/The George Show. It used to be The George Vanus Show, but we had YouTube recover just The George Show. We got a few other channels like /Bayani, which will be one of our new partners, /HBomb94. He's a Minecrafter. We helped him recover his channel. And we even recovered youtube.com/XSplit. We helped XSplit get their own URL back. So try it. Go to youtube.com/XSplit and you'll see the official XSplit channel. It didn't used to be. It used to be like a 0 subscriber, 1 video, just an empty abandoned channel. So long story short, guys, we are building what TGN should have been, according to what my vision for TGN was, that is. And we're doing it with a direct relationship with Google. No one's in the way to prevent us from doing the things that we decide as a team to do together. And that network is freedom.
So, I mean, some of the things George touched on there, the opportunity to recover YouTube usernames, as well as just opportunities that freedom allows. I think one of the big things that right now has really swept YouTube is content ID matches. That's really been a huge issue for many YouTubers, and a lot of people really feel that their networks have wronged them in a way of before the networks were responsible for managing their channel, and that was kind of why people were getting partnered, right? That's why I wanted to get partnered at the beginning. That's why everyone wanted to, is so you have that opportunity to not be in the mix of just everyone else, where your content is strictly checked by YouTube. And now YouTube's going to be rolling out a thing where you have to they have to check your video before you even get monetization, which George knows a lot more than me on that. But a big thing with freedom is that you're not just like every other network where you're an affiliate partner. You're actually managed, right? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah. Everyone at Freedom is a managed partner. We have over 200 now that are all managed, 0 affiliates. And the reason for that is because we check every channel. The reason networks are downgrading so many of you is because they haven't checked every channel. They just partnered everybody, regardless of whether they had music in their FPS videos that was copyright or not. They just partnered everybody. And now YouTube had to take a stance, and that's partly why they implemented this new policy. So networks are afraid, because if they get 10, 15, or 20 strikes, then they're out. What we're doing is we're partnering everyone as managed after carefully screening them for copyright. And we're also implementing a process where we monitor every video that gets uploaded, and we can catch copyright the moment it gets added into our network. Now, because everyone is managed, Content ID does not run on your channels. What that means is the only way to get a strike is if someone finds your video manually. So how do we stay safe? How do we scale to 10,000 managed partners and not get any strikes? Well, by finding the videos first. And we do that by looking at every upload, scaling our team as we grow our network. So we will find the copyright content before anyone searching for it on YouTube does, and we'll deal with it before it's found. So I expect that we'll have no problem even if we hit 10,000 managed partners, as long as we're responsible, diligent about copyright.
Yeah, and that's a really big issue right now on YouTube. I know it's affected me, not to the extent as a lot of people have been affected, but I mean, I'm sure many of you, especially if you follow a lot of bigger YouTubers, I mean, they've been affected where overnight it's gone from, all right, I have 600 videos earning revenue to 200 left or 300 left. Just crazy amounts of content ID matches on things like, if you have one intro and it's got a song that's similar to another song even, you could instantly be losing that revenue until that claim has been fixed. And it's a big issue right now on YouTube. So it's definitely a big benefit of going with a network like Freedom. And there really are, I would say there aren't. I would challenge any network to say we have all of our partners as managed, because it doesn't exist, right? It's not
doesn't exist.
So that's definitely a big thing. And of course, I'm sure a lot of you want to know about revenue. So let's talk about that, and let's just discuss what is Freedom experience so far, because obviously that's a big part of it as well.
Yeah, well, we've launched our earnings report, as I mentioned earlier. You can see that on our YouTube channel. And we've seen CPMs of $10 or more across almost all of our channels. It's insane. I've seen those revenue visibility screenshots that say 15 CPM, 20 CPM. We've even seen higher CPMs. We've seen lower ones as well, 5 CPM, 6 CPM. But you know what? I've never seen a CPM less than 5. I can't believe it. Now, I don't know if that's because we have a really good contract with Google. As far as I know, it's the same contract Google offers, full screen, Maker, BBTV. We're equals, on par with all the big networks. But so far, everyone we've partnered has told me I've seen a jump in my CPM, and they can't explain it. So yeah, I think we're gonna get a lot of happy YouTubers who join us.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this too is, revenue seems like it's doing really well a month into the network being launched. And not only that, but kind of the contract that you see with Freedom is awesome, right? No lock-in contract. Many YouTube networks that had been doing it now aren't. I know TGN has changed their contract around as well. Me being a current TGN partner, I've been offered a new contract as well as all of us, right? So all the people that were previously doing it, for the most part, really just are not doing this no lock-in contract. So what's the idea behind this no lock-in contract, and how will that really work with Freedom?
Well, Connor, we have to remember YouTube, the philosophy of YouTube is no lock-in. Would you believe that as an MCN, we have a no lock-in contract with YouTube? We can give YouTube 30-day notice and they let us out of our contract should we ever want to terminate our agreement with YouTube. That's the spirit of YouTube, no lock-in. You're supposed to have a no lock-in contract. At least that's what I believe. So we will always have no lock-in. And TGN, when I founded it, it was based on the principle of no lock-in. I'm actually sad to hear that they're implementing a lock-in policy, because you're basically ruining the image of TGN, which started as a network that was free for people to try and leave if you didn't like it. So Freedom is going to be that. It's the spiritual, what TGN should have been, and we'll start with no lock-in managed. We also have a design team. We've organized a lot of professional designers, 7, who can give you free services to make your intro, to make your logo, to make your banner. And we're going to offer that free for all Freedom partners with just a perk, just a bonus for joining Freedom. We're going to launch a lot of cool things for you, the community. We're going to launch Minecraft servers. We already have one, a 2,000 slot Minecraft server. It's already live for internal testing, and we're going to launch it to the public in a couple days. And there's going to be a TeamSpeak server, 500 slot for you to enjoy. We're going to launch any server that you tell us you want. You want a Starbound server, we'll put one up. You want an FPS server, we'll put one up. No charge. Because we want to build the community in the way that it should be built, which is freedom. You tell us what you want. If you don't like what you see, you can go anytime. It's a simple idea. I wish more networks were embracing it.
Yeah, it's really, it's a great opportunity, like I've said from the beginning of this video, and like I'll continue to say, it's an incredible opportunity for you to jump on board while a network is starting up. And worst case, you go, all right, well, it didn't work out for me, and I can go ahead and terminate my contract and move on to a big monster network like TGN, Machinima, or whatever it may be, right? But the opportunity is there. There's a lot of great benefits. Revenue seems really well. Content ID isn't going to be an issue. There's no lock-in, like I said, free design team. It's just incredible. You also have a lot of open interaction with George and other members of the team. So it's really just a great opportunity. And kind of just in closing with this video, I do want to point out something that George actually made a great video about, which is the current change for many partners to become that managed versus affiliate, potentially causing some issues with current contracts. So could you touch on that and kind of give some advice if people are wanting to switch to Freedom, how they currently could potentially get out of a long-term contract because of these recent changes?
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line comes to when you signed that contract, you had your revenue enabled from the first view, and you didn't have Content ID running on your channel. Now, networks had the choice to keep you as managed or downgrade you to affiliated. And if you've been downgraded, now you have Content ID running on all your videos, and your revenue is not being enabled from the first view at YouTube's discretion. So the terms of the contract changed. What you expected to be earning and the benefits that you signed up for, when they're removed and the contract doesn't reflect those changes, there's a breach. Now, networks typically respond with show me the clause in our contract that says you are going to be a managed partner, not affiliated. Well, the clause isn't there because that concept didn't exist at the time when you signed the contract. So you don't put clauses that are in the future. But when you sign a contract, you have an expectation of a certain level of service. When that service changes, the contract, the nature of the agreement changes. It's as simple as that. And so I do believe that what YouTubers should do is ask for a managed partnership because that's what they had. And if they don't get it and they want it, then just complain. If they're not going to listen to reason, then complain. You are the customer. The customer is always right. And if you complain loudly and long enough, then the network will eventually realize the bad publicity that your complaining is causing is not worth holding you hostage. So just take it to the level that you feel you need to take it. You are the customer, and the customer is always right.
And I think that's big, right? I mean, for me at least, it's a big deal, right? You know, to say X amount of dollars I was making a month ago now is going to be totally changed, especially with the new YouTube changes for screening a video before you can even earn revenue. I think that hasn't even come yet, and it's just going to continue to be more of an issue, especially for people who aren't used to the changes. So I think freedom is a great opportunity, and that's really why I wanted to make this video and sit down with George and get a little discussion going, because it is truly an opportunity that doesn't come often, right? It's not often, if ever, that this opportunity comes up. I was given the opportunity when TGN was starting by George, and it was just a great time. It was really good year or so, and I'm really enjoying seeing what Freedom has done so far. So hopefully you guys jump on board. Like I said, links in the description for everything we've discussed. I do recommend, if you haven't seen it yet, you check out some of George's videos. They really are good. So anything you'd like to say in closing here?
Join Freedom and be free.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Till next time, peace, and here's the outro.